Hi again, Doug here from X-Frames FPV, and today I've got a build out slash kind of repair video for you. It's not really a repair, but just moving some components over to a new frame. Now, this is for my customer in South Carolina. I actually sold him this frame quite a while ago when I was doing eBay builds and selling some stuff kind of in my downtime for eBay, and I don't have time to do that anymore, so I'm not doing that. But this is a Martian II that I had built for him, and he took a pretty hard crash, and you can see here where the fracture or where the break is. And this is pretty common on your QAVRs, whether it be a clone or the original, or this is the clone of an Impulse RC Alien. They all tend to break right in here because there's a lot of stress. You know, you've got your GoPro sitting on top, and there's a lot of weight on that, and especially if you take an upside down hit, and you can see it just puts a lot of pressure on it. And then you got the battery towards the back here and the antenna, and so this is where they break a lot. Sometimes if you hit really hard on the end here and you hit it just right, they will crack right here. You'll get a fracture right across where the motor mounts, but with these 4mm arms, they don't break as much. So anyways, we're going to be pulling this out, or pulling some of the components out. I already pulled the Lux out of it. That was the flight controller. We're going to move that over to this Kabob frame. And some of the components here are still working. There's a couple of them that do have issues. And so rather than replacing with kind of some, these RCX motors, they're great motors to a price point, but this guy's kind of beyond that now. He's at the point to where he needs some more power, and so these XM20s, one of them's bad, so we just decided to upgrade to BL Heli S. So let's get into what we're going to do here, what we're going to move over. So let's just start on the left-hand side here. On the camera side, he has the Dominator V2s. And so with the Dominator V2s, I like to put the 1200 TVLs in there because then you've got a 16:9 aspect ratio, and it just looks really good, really low latency. As far as the VTX, this came out, and this is the Pyro drone. This is their standard 200 milliwatt. I put these in so many builds. It's great VTX. As far as receiver, this is the FR Sky XSR, XRS or XSR. I'm sorry. It's it's one of those days that my brain is not working as fast as my mouth is. So, and then of course the Lux. This is the Lumineer Lux, and so that's going to be going in there. And these are all parts that were off of the Martian II. Now, the new parts that we're going to go, he wanted OSD, so I used my standard here, and that's the hub OSD. We've got 2 places for 12 volts, 2 places for 5 volts. The OSD integration is really, really clean, and this is just a good way to go if you want to add OSD without adding a bunch of components. And then as far as ESCs, I'm really in love with these. I did a review on these, and they're not out there really. They're not widely available right now. Pyroflip RC does have them, and these ES20s are just so nice and small, and they've just worked flawlessly for me. I have them on actually 2 of my builds now that are my personal flyers, and I've had no issues with them. No desync, which is a few of the BL Heli S ESCs, the Emax Lightning, the 34 amp, I think it was. They had a problem with desync, and so they recalled some of those, and I've not had any issues with these, so I'm really happy with them. As far as motors, this is probably the best or one of the best 2205s you can get here. Now, these are discontinued they're made by Is that going to actually focus? That's my question, right? That's always my question. I've got to figure out how to properly use this camera. It's a T5i, and just I need to do a little bit more research, I guess, on focus points. So anyways, this is a really good 2205. Tons of power. This is basically a rebranded ZMX V2, and this is in 2600 kV. So he's going to have plenty of power. Those things are really, really, really strong motors. So that's going to be the build. It's all going to go on this Kabob. I really do like the Kabob frame. I think one of its benefits is it is just so durable. I've got my customer in Texas that flies it in one of his smaller shops, and he's a farmer. He's got quite a few shops, and he throws 3-inch props or 4-inch props on it and a 3S, and he just loves it indoors, and he's banged that thing into everything, and it just keeps on coming back without any issues. So that's what we're going to use on this. This is obviously a True X, and it's got an acro style stacked center section, and then the battery is going to go underneath. So this is going to be a great flyer for him. It's going to be really fast, going to be a lot of fun if he wants to do some acro stuff with it or some freestyle. And so that's the build. That's what's going to happen. We'll do a kind of, once it's done, I'm going to do another video on my final thoughts of how everything went together. I expect it to go together really well because it's all components that I use, and I will be flying this and getting it really tuned. I'm assuming my customer is probably going to want droning on it because that's his preferred software. So that's what we're going to do. So I hope you guys are getting something out of these. I hope you're enjoying them. I looked this morning, I'm at 434 or something subscribers, and I'm telling you guys, it means the world to me. So I appreciate it, and if there's stuff I missed, please put it in the comment section, and I'll do my best to kind of answer any questions. So I do have a website you can check out. It's xframesfpv.com. That's xframesfpv.com, and you can kind of see some of my builds and kind of see what I have to offer. So hope you guys have a wonderful day. I don't know about where you are, but today in California, it's absolutely gorgeous because it's nice and cool. So I'm going to get a little time to fly, and I hope you do as well. Thanks so much.